joins.
Cool. I mean, before we begin, maybe we can do some introductions. At least there are 12 people, no? I mean, just will be good to
Sure.
understand what people are and what do you expect. Uh, Maybe in just a few words, what do you expect from this talk or discussion?
Yeah, so good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us today for the session. Welcome to the sixth talk on the FOSS Entrepreneurship Forum. I request all of you to keep your mic off to avoid any echo issues or interruptions during the session. Thank you. So, ICFOSS, a government organization for the promotion and propagation of free and open source software, is trying to connect with successful entrepreneurs so that they can share with you their experience on how FOSS can help with your entrepreneurship dreams. So that is the main objective of the series called FOSS Entrepreneurship Forum. I request all the participants to make use of the session and try to get maximum interactions with our speakers, successful free software entrepreneurs. So moving on to the session, we have Mr. Rishabh Mehta with us today. He is one of the FOSS advocates who is so close to ICFOSS. Mr. Rishabh is the founder of Frappe and ERP Next, the world's best free and open source ERP. His roles in Frappe include software development, design, marketing, accounting, testing, team building, and whatnot. He's working along with the ERP Next community to revolutionize business software by building a high quality, free and open source ERP. He's also the director of FOSS United, which is a non-profit whose goal is support and grow free and open source software projects in communities in India. So it's my pleasure to invite Mr. Rishabh to the FOSS Entrepreneurship Forum. Welcome, Rishabh.
Yeah, thanks Anjali for that an introduction. Should we also do like a quick introduction of the participants, like just
Sure.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah. So I'll start with mine maybe. I'm Anjali, working as a technical coordinator here, working in managing GIST-based projects and as well as the software incubator, Swatantra incubator of ICFOSS. We have Srini sir, who is the program head at ICFOSS. Srini sir, could you please? Hello, we are not able to hear you, sir. Are you trying to speak? Sorry, sir, I think there are some issues. I think if ICFOSS team members could give an intro of yourself, starting with, we have a ERP people here at ICFOSS actually. Vishnu and Aruna is here. And we have also representative from Vahni Green Technologies, which is another ERP-based free software company. From Vahni, Saumi Sheelan is there.
So I think I didn't want to really do a talk, right? I mean, you can go on YouTube and I've given like multiple talks. So I mean, if it'd be really fun, if we can make this interactive and that was my goal here. So,
yeah, sure.
So if people can at least introduce themselves, that'd be really nice. So that everybody's bored, right?
I think most of the participants are on listening mode. I think if you could just disconnect and rejoin using microphone option, it would be really good. So I request all the participants on this listening mode to just disconnect and re-log in again.
Rishabh, I think you are on mute.
Sorry. So I meant that if you can also do video, like you figured out I was on mute, right? So, other people can.
So you want to see us also, right?
It's always good, right? Otherwise, it feels like you're talking to a
Right.
wall. Those who can, right? I'm not asking everybody to can, but like it'll be just good to, you be on so many online calls, right? You realize if you are on video, you have more engagement. Otherwise, mostly people are just, on the chatting on the side or. it's,
Absolutely. Correct. I mean, you're showing your face, and we are not showing you. I mean, you're just blindly talking to the board or something.
yeah. Thanks, Rakin. You want to introduce yourself?
Yeah. Of course, myself, Rakin has mentioned them. In fact, one thing, first of all, before I introduce myself, I want to congratulate. I mean, you've done a wonderful job. I mean, creating ERP Next. I'm working with a company called Wahini IT Solutions. Solely, we have plans to be to take a broad, membership. The partnership with ERP Next. I mean, right now we are doing our bread and butter, right? The Wahini's bread and butter. Doing the customization and do the implementation of the ERP Next softwares. So along with me, Mr. Swami is there. I guess you already know. Yeah.
Hi, Rishabh, how are you? I'm working as an ERP structural consultant for the last 5 years, I think. Now, I was Middle East now, came into India last year, and then we started a company over here. And also we are working with ICFOSS, it's like we have an office over there. And yeah, that's about us now. As Ragin said, like, yes, we are planning to take the membership by next week. So we are hoping to have more collaboration and work and everything. Yeah.
Thanks guys for the introduction. Yeah, hi, Zai.
Hi. Hi everybody, I am Zai, and I am actually not working currently in anything related to ERPs, but I am a very huge fan of RAP and ERP Next. So I just decided to join and listen and gauge and understand what's going on. Thank you so much, Rishabh.
Thanks for joining.
Hi Rishabh, this is Sampath here. I'm joining from ICFOSS. I'm an enterprise architect working over here as a technical consultant. I'm currently we were in position to implementing an ERP solutions over here, and we are trying that out. The possibilities, we are exploring that out, and of all the latest and greatest version of ERP Next also. I'm trying to find out like all of the things, but I am happy enough to share with you the experience that currently that we are facing.
Cool. Thanks, Sampath.
Yeah, hi Rishabh. This is Prajesh from Tacton. I hope you remember we have interacted a couple of times. So basically, the things which we are, doing. So hopefully we'll get into, some kind of engagements with you soon. That's what we are also planning. So thanks I'm looking forward to your talk. Thank you.
Thanks, Prajesh.
Hi Rishabh, can you hear me now? This is Srini from ICFOSS.
Yeah, Srini, we can hear you.
Yeah, Rishabh, I've been in touch with you more than through many other channels, probably with IEEE also. I think we have. And your journey with ERP Next has been always an inspiration for FOSS professionals, not just in India, I think all across the globe. So it's great to have you here. Some of the objectives which Anjali has already mentioned to you, we just want to showcase inspiring personalities like you and how FOSS could be made use of in building their entrepreneurship dreams. It is very tough topic, I must admit that, because many people, even if they are not conversant with entrepreneurship dreams itself, Then thinking about FOSS also into that entrepreneurship dreams is a tough portion to handle. So here in ICFOSS, International Center for Free and Open Source Software, an organization instituted by Government of Kerala to promote the all-round ecosystem, like training, R&D, as well as incubation. So we do all these three. We have few companies incubated within our premises. Some have gone to scale up, mostly using the FOSS-based solutions itself. Or at least partially, something like 60% FOSS-based solution, something more than that, like that type of. So we try to promote them. We try to collaborate with them in undertaking projects with government, Government of Kerala as well as Government of India, and other consultancy projects. That is how we try to promote that FOSS business solution. Other than that, we are also planning pre-incubation, where we just want to roll it out this year, where we plan to get expression of interest from students across India, if possible, who are interested in entrepreneurship as well as FOSS. And we will conduct a mentorship period, or 3 months, where people like you will be invited to share your thoughts, experience with them, and what are the things they should be careful about which. And then they will go through the process of building up their startup. So that is how we are trying to promote at least 10 FOSS-based entrepreneurs this year. That is one of the targets which we have from the student community. So those are the things which we are taking up. Primarily in ICFOSS right now we have R&D activities in IoT. Basically, we have a full-fledged open hardware ecosystem using LoRaWAN, which we have evolved. We have all the designs, everything completely available on public domain, and other things also, drones, language computing, machine learning, and all other R&D works are being taken, especially on Malayalam computing as well. And we try to provide as many FOSS solutions in the government sector as possible. We are there in different advisory bodies, and we try to promote. So this is what we are looking for. Basically, in your sessions, I would rather suggest if you can take our people who are attending through your journey in building that or the founding a company, and how you build it up to this level, what are the aspirations, and generally how the startup community should address in making use of FOSS as the building block for their entrepreneurship dreams. So if that can be taken care of, it will be very, very helpful. That is what we understand. And probably with your permission, we will be sharing this recording also across different communities. Thank you, Rishabh, for joining. I hope I have conveyed the things in a reasonable plate.
Yeah, thanks, Srini. I think thanks for the introduction also. And yeah, I mean, I've been off and on, being connected with ICFOSS. I remember maybe 4, 5, maybe more years ago, where I had this invited for this young people conference, right? Where a lot of college students are there. So yeah, and ICFOSS and Government of Kerala has been the real, path defining kind of, I think both in terms of culture and, really looking at FOSS as a core building block of society and governance, right? So I think that's really, really commendable, and you are already seeing the benefits. I think if you see a lot of new FOSS startups are coming out, and they're getting funded also, right? And a lot of these are Malayalis, right? So it's just good. I think the returns are really showing up, for all these efforts that are being put in by the entire community in Kerala, right? So that is great. So I'm assuming most people here know ERP Next, right? I mean, so what I realize is, right, doing So it is really nice. So maybe I'm just going to put a poll of say how many people know ERP Next. Okay. So there is a poll that is started. Uh, so I mean, yeah, you can say like yeah. So most people know about ERP Next. So I'm not going to probably spend some time talking about ERP Next. What I would do is I think the as you suggested that talk about entrepreneurship, and uh, that is a very interesting topic, right? Because I mean that's harder. FOSS is really easy as a tool, but entrepreneurship is really the hard thing out there. Just a second. Sorry, I'm just telling folks in the office too. So yeah, I mean, talking about FOSS and entrepreneurship, in a sense, right? Is so I mean, yeah, one person doesn't know about ERP Next. So just to give a brief introduction, is that like ERP Next is an open source ERP software. Essentially, helps businesses of all kind to manage their accounting and other activities. Most companies have to use some accounting system because the government wants you to pay tax, and there is and to collect tax you need to know your income. I mean, interestingly, most entrepreneurs don't know their income, right? But the government wants to know, so you have to use an accounting software whether you like it or not. And that also helps you to forcefully organize your data, your transactions, what like the money you make, all of that, and that kind of organization is what is essentially at the core of ERP. I mean, the example I give is that humans invented writing to do accounting. So if you look at the first writing of human civilization, the tablets of the Sumerian civilization in Mesopotamia, right? I mean, the first things humans wrote was not poetry, it was accounting. So that's how old accounting is. And computers were also partially invented to solve accounting problems. Like IBM, the first real computer software, first real computer company, essentially built accounting solutions for large enterprises, right? So accounting is one of the oldest problems that we have been solving, and so that's what we solve again for one more time. And so that's that's ERP Next. Helps you do accounting and a bunch of other stuff around accounting. Basically, I think the thing, and again, if you have questions, feel free to either post it on the chat or just feel free to interrupt. I would love this to be an interactive session, because those are the most interesting rather than just listening to somebody speak. So yeah, so talking about entrepreneurship and FOSS, right? I mean, both. I mean, which is harder is a question, right? I mean, both are hard, extremely hard problems. And when you say that you want to do FOSS and entrepreneurship, I mean, the only thing you do is you consume FOSS, and you basically cut your costs as an entrepreneur. I mean, creating FOSS is like double hard because it's hard to make money as it is, and if you're giving away free stuff, then you actually just multiplied the scale of your problem. So when you're thinking FOSS and entrepreneurship, I mean, use FOSS. I mean, that's the first thing, right? I mean, use it well. And then you have to realize that what you essentially charge for is the kind of services you offer to your customers. And I think that is what we'll to remember. I mean, while we say ideologically FOSS and everything, I mean, ultimately, a good business is about helping your customers achieve their goals. And there is, and it does not have any ideology, right? I mean, that's for you to manage yourself, but your customer just wants a solution, and that is the most important thing. And that solution has to be good quality, right? So the first thing you have to do is build skills to use, install, use, FOSS, right? And then offer those services to your customer. And so your customer does not only want you to set up something for them, but they also want you to service them for a long period of time. So if you are starting a business and you're thinking, starting as a freelancer or you're starting a small company, it's doubly hard because your customers don't trust whether you will be in business 6 months from now, right? What if you decide to change your mind and you decide to do something else? Then your customers are so building trust and reputation is your first target as a FOSS, right? As any business, that you have to really show trust to your potential customers that you are a serious person. You are just not a freelancer, or you are just not a some kind of casual ideologue. That you are there to help them, right? I mean, that's really important. So I think Giri is asking, is there any mental model on how to make money? Yeah. So I mean, customers pay for solutions. So clearly you make money from services, you make money from hosting, and you make money from. And here is one more thing, right? When you talk about mental models, like professional services, is customization. I mean, that's the worst thing you can do. So you get a customer, right? And say you get a customer for any kind of project, and the way you typically charge is the hours, and then you tell the customer that I'll need to your incentive as a freelancer or as somebody who is a consultant is to increase your bill, right? So you will subconsciously, you are incentivized to sell customizations, which is something I've seen is extremely premature, and you will not be able to build a sustainable business with that mindset, right? Because customizations have a very, very long life. I mean, it's just not that you have, say, a customer wants a particular workflow and you customize it. That's not it. What if that workflow conflicts with some other workflow, right? I mean, there are so many edge cases you have to handle when you design customizations, and mostly customers are not ready to pay so much, right, to design good quality customizations. The real way to make money is to help them implement as is, and that is way more profitable because your customer over a period of time will trust you that you have given them a stable solution. So one of the first things when you talk about frameworks and mental models, and one of the big learnings is try and use the standard software as much as possible, right? I mean, don't try to really go out and sell a lot of customization because you are delaying the project. You are creating downstream costs, which will be very expensive later on. And yeah, while in the short term it may boost your revenue, in the long term you will not be able to really build a system. And I work with so many freelancers around ERP Next, right? And this is the learning that they come back with after 3, 4, 5 years. And they also realize that it's way more profitable to just implement. So that is something you should think about. What is open core versus open source? See, open core, is just a new thing because there is a lot of VC funded FOSS. I mean, essentially, FOSS came from academia, right? I mean, a lot of the GNU project started from MIT, and even Linus Torvalds was in university when he made Linux, right? So a lot of it was essentially amateur freelancers doing stuff for fun, and it was never like a commercial thing. But now the whole game has changed, right? Because of cloud, right? So now you have everybody is moving onto a cloud, and what is happening is that because people are on the cloud, it's very easy to distribute software. And suddenly, what you put on the cloud is you put open source software, right? So the open source software, and then it's become the de facto way to deliver software now. So that is why there is a lot of VC funded projects that are coming into open source, and finally they have to make money, right? So finally they have